credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Very good evening. I'm Lisa Broom. This is the CBC Evening News. The Barbados Union of Teachers is in an all-out effort to get issues affecting teachers resolved. President Pedro Shepherd says the union will go as high as the Prime Minister. He was speaking to hundreds of teachers who attended today's meeting in Queen's Park. Lisa Lord was there and filed this report.
The Barbados Union of Teachers didn't meet with officials of the Ministry of Education, but they did come closer to the ministry's Constitution Road headquarters as they held another meeting in Queen's Park directly opposite the ministry's offices. President of the BUT, Pedro Shepherd, says they are willing to give Education Minister Ronald Jones a little more time to meet with the union, but their patience is wearing thin.
We really don't have time to waste. We have children to teach. We have a society to shape. We have to correct the indiscipline in this country. We have to reduce the violence in this country. We have a major responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to the nation's children.
At the meeting, Mr. Shepherd indicated that he would be writing Prime Minister Frundell Stewart, asking him to intervene in the matter.
Because there seems to be no light at the end of this tunnel. I am also going to impress upon him to chair the meeting.
Now, the numbers at this meeting were less than the turnout at the Wilde Gymnasium just over a week ago. While again calling on the Education Minister to resign, Mr. Shepherd challenged Mr. Jones to make good on a recent threat and discipline the teachers for attending the meeting.
Well, I want you to disappoint any one of these teachers here today by docking their pay for attending any of our meetings. And you will see who would get disappointed.
Mr. Shepherd says the BUT has written the Education Ministry on a total of 27 issues in recent times. Teachers came armed with placards but were not allowed to use them, as the letter sent to Acting Police Commissioner Tyrone Griffith didn't ask for such permission. Lisa Lord, CBC News.
A 38-year-old police officer charged with having intercourse with a minor has been released on bail. He's Donahue Pollard, who appeared in court this morning. Magistrate Wanda Blair read 2 counts to Pollard, who was not required to plead to the indictable offences. The act was reportedly committed between July 2015 and May this year. There was no objection to bail, and Pollard was released on $10,000 bail with one surety. Pollard was also ordered to surrender his travel documents and warned to keep away from the complainant. He is to make another court appearance on September 5th. Every year, 3 people in Barbados die from leptospirosis and 25 are diagnosed with the disease. This revelation from Dr. Marquita Gittins St. Hilaire, director of the Leptospira Laboratory. She was speaking at a training workshop on laboratory methods for leptospirosis diagnosis, organized for laboratory technicians from around the Caribbean. The 3-day workshop is funded by the European Union under the 10th European Development Fund Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures Project, being executed by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. Dr. Gittins St. Hilaire says although there has been a decline in the number of deaths and transmissions over the years, the disease persists.
The occurrence was greater in the early 80s when jobs were predominantly agricultural. However, with a change to more indoor jobs, the numbers have reduced, but not to the point of elimination. Although this shift in occupations have been noted, the other modes of acquisition have sustained a level of infection. So what am I talking about in terms of other modes of acquisition? We're still in contact with domestic animals. We still have livestock. Even though we might not necessarily be fully agriculturalists, we're not, working in the cane field and so forth. The infection has still been sustained other ways.
There's a call for all Barbadians to observe the upcoming National Day of Prayer. It comes from Rector of the St. David's Church, Canon Noel Burke. Speaking on Morning Barbados, Canon Burke said the National Day of Prayer will occur tomorrow and will see a number of religious institutions open their doors throughout the day for people to pray. He says the 50th anniversary celebrations inspired his idea for the National Day.
within the construct of the celebration, there's the 50th Anniversary Coordinating Committee, and then there is a Religious Events Subcommittee.
Oh.
Yeah. And by the grace of the Almighty, I'm the chairman of that subcommittee, and Reverend Tyner Conliffe is a member of the committee. And as we were looking at the kinds of events that we can have, certainly one of the things we thought of was the idea of a day of prayer.
Barbadians between the ages of 16 and 21 years who are enrolled in technical and vocational education and training institutions will soon have the opportunity to showcase their skills. It will come when the World Skills Barbados competition is held during BMEX between May 13th and 16th. The judges for the competition have signed off on the rules and responsibilities document and took an oath to assume their responsibilities at Hastings House. Technical officer at the TVET Council, Samantha Jones, says the judging of the competition will be critical.
The judging, like assessment and like exams and like anything that speaks to quality, has to be transparent, it has to be of a very high standard, and that is what will cement the quality of the whole process, and also it is what will help people to buy into the process and for people to trust the process. As you know, KPMG is on board as our auditors for the competition. So during the competition, they are going to be there to help make sure that the quality and the process is above board and that it can't be questioned.
Coming up, 100 reasons to celebrate. We'll tell you about a family of long livers.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
It's not about exercising. It's having the strength to do what you're passionate about. It's not about the road traveled. It's about the one to be traveled. An important thing in life is finding the perfect balance between body and soul. With a bottle of Ensure, you get the proteins, calcium, and 26 vitamins and minerals your body needs to live the best moments of your life with strength and energy. Your life, your health, your Ensure.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply today. Call 426-7000 or visit your nearest branch. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
The Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre, or LESC, has been a critical component of Barbados's ability to host major conferences and other events. That's according to Senator Irene Sandiford Garner, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism. She was speaking in the Upper House on a resolution to lease the property that comprises the LESC to Barbados Conference Services Limited. Senator Sandiford Garner says the facility has been upgraded with significantly more office space added. We apologize. Technical difficulties prevented us from showing that extract. But the facility will also provide accommodation for public sector employees who occupy government headquarters as that building is being renovated. We now go back to the previous extract from Senator Sandiford Garner.
The new offices is a project that provided the ECSL with 4 floors, totaling 73,000 square feet of lettable A-class commercial space. And this completes the building. Now the offices that I am speaking about will be fully utilized by government to accommodate 7 government departments and agencies. Now, practical completion was achieved in August of 2014. We're at snagging stage, and the final cost of construction is $37,322,926, inclusive of demolition works.
Opposition Senator Wilfred Abrams is pleading with government to repair the old Supreme Court building, which he says is now hazardous to all who have to use it. Noting that piece of the building broke off and fell just yesterday, he says even if it is not fully renovated, it needs to at least be made safe.
The fact is the building has been allowed to deteriorate to the point where it is now a danger to people using the District A Magistrates Court and that compound. Madam President, the veranda was propped up to prevent it falling down. I ask that with the same haste, something be done to at least, if only to the basic minimum, secure that building so that it is safe and the compound is safe for use for the people who have to be there.
And an independent senator believes it would make more sense for government to refurbish and use derelict buildings in Bridgetown rather than continue to pay millions of dollars in rent annually. That suggestion comes from Senator Sir Henry Fraser. The Wilkinson family from Perfection Road, Bush Hall, could possibly have a lot of celebrating to do in the coming years. 3 siblings from the family are all nearing the 100-year-old mark, and Doris Wilkinson is leading the trio. Today, she reached the treasured landmark. Friends, family, and the Governor General gathered at her home in celebration of her 100th birthday. Suzanne Wilkinson, one of Doris's 22 grandchildren, says growing up with her grandmother was always very strict.
I never got lashes from her, but I think she just had to speak, and then you know where's the score. Yeah.
Well, close behind Doris is her brother, who is 98 years old, and her sister, Evelyn Griffith, who is 90 years old. Ms. Wilkinson still has her husband of 60 years, Gilbert Wilkinson, and he is 91 years of age. Suzanne Wilkinson says, like her grandmother's siblings, Doris is quite healthy for her age.
Just hard of hearing. She doesn't have any illnesses associated with aging, like Alzheimer's or dementia or anything. She's just a little hard of hearing, and that's her eyesight is pretty good, and that's it. And the usual aches and pains, what you expect for 100 years, you understand. But basically, it's not really any serious challenges.
Well, that's an amazing family. Happy birthday, Ms. Wilkinson. Thousands of marijuana trees seized. We have that story ahead on the Evening News.
Shop today and experience at